Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
Andrew McCart, IFL TV, delighted to be joined by Frank Warren again out here in beautiful Saudi Arabia. Frank, we're up another huge event in Saudi Arabia, the third one in what, 6 months it seems?
Third one in 6 months, and it'll be the first one in 5 months, in the next 5 months of a brilliant start to 2024 with, fabulous cards. This is just phenomenal. And obviously we're all boxing nuts, we're all boxing fans, and it doesn't get any better than this. This was a real competitive show. Knockout Chaos is a competitive show on Friday night.
Let's talk about it then. It's a competitive fight now. A lot of people, when you put Ngannou in with Tyson Fury, people saying it was a mismatch and Tyson was going to walk through him. I was probably one of them that said the same thing, but we now know that Ngannou has got a little bit about him, more than a little bit about him, but he's up against AJ. Is it as simple, Frank, as whoever lands first?
I don't think it's quite as simple as that. Look, first of all, I said from the beginning when he was fighting Tyson that, this guy, he's not a YouTuber, he's not an influencer, he's a fighter. And he was the very best at what he did at UFC, no doubt about that. And he's a real competitor, and we know he can bang. And he showed that in that fight. What he showed, though, what I didn't think he would do, he could box. And he boxed well. Tyson wasn't himself, by the way. I don't think he was at his best, but done what he had to do to win. But he showed what a competitor he is. And what's going to be interesting to me now is what he's learned from that debut fight, boxing fight, what he's learned from that. Can he be any better? He knows what he's doing in fighting with AJ. He knows AJ's been beaten in the past. Will he think there's any chinks in his armour that he can exploit? And AJ, on the other side, coming off a really good win, got himself well and back into contention, and he's obviously got the luxury of having seen him now seen his opponent, so he's seen him. And will Ngannou have improved? Can he improve on what he did? So it's a really intriguing fight. They're both good punchers, and I generally do feel it won't go the distance.
Frank, as a boxing man, would this be, you've been in boxing for a long time, would this be up there if Ngannou beats Anthony Joshua as one of the biggest? We know Mike Tyson busted Douglas, a big upset that was. Would that match that if Ngannou beats Joshua?
It'd be a big upset, but it wouldn't surprise me because he's a competitor and he can box. After the fight with Tyson, you looked at that top 10 division, there's a couple of guys there I think he would beat. After watching that, I'd think, I wouldn't want to make that match. I'm not going to say who they are, I'm not going to upset people. But
you got my title there, Frank.
But he showed what he's all about. He's a big man. He's a very big and strong man. So I think early on, this fight in the early rounds are going to be really exciting.
I'm excited about. Can we talk about the co-main event then? Joseph Parker. I don't know what you were shouting at the moment he was doing his little.
Booing him.
Well, you're booing him. All right, okay, that's fair enough. He's up against Zhang. Now we saw Zhang the last 2 outings on your show against Joe Joyce. He's a monster. Joseph Parker's he's on a crest of a wave right now as well. So, what's your thoughts?
Well, they've got a common opponent in Joe Joyce. Joe knocked out and stopped Joe Parker, and Zang, coming in as an underdog, did a number on Joe Joyce twice. And since then, he's coming up, you said, a couple of wins in Saudi, and his last win against Wilder. He looks really good in that fight, although I don't want to take anything away from it, although Wilder, I don't think, just didn't look the fighter that I thought he was. But anyway, irrespective of that, this is a good fight. Both of them know what's at stake here. They know that there's a big fight on the 18th between Tyson and Usyk. They know that they want to get their place at the title, and then more importantly, the WBO interim title's on the line, which means it's a mandatory, and that will be ordered soon.
Tyson's been back on social media. We love when Tyson comes back on social media. Now he said something along the lines of, "Tell Usyk I'm coming inside 7." It tells me that Tyson's looking for the knockout in this undisputed heavyweight fight. Is that what you're hoping for from Tyson Fury in this fight?
Listen, I'm a Tyson Fury man, but I do fancy him to beat him, and it's a shame what happened with the cut because he was in tremendous shape, and he was really, anyway, things happen. Tyson's more philosophical than I am about it because that's the business we're in, and it's happened a couple of times where he's been on the other side of that, Klitschko, for example. So where do we go now? We've got the 18th. I think makes it a more intriguing fight. his eye should be okay, we'll be okay by then. And I genuinely do feel we're going to be in for something special. It's the biggest boxing event of this century. And we're going to find out who's the #1 heavyweight in the world. And in the meantime, all these other guys are all jockeying for position to fight the winner.
Is Tyson coming out here? I heard he was coming out here, Frank.
He is coming out, yes, I understand, yeah.
Obviously, I don't want to talk about Nick Ball. I mean, for a fighter fighting for his world title on a stage like this, Nick Ball, you've had him for a long time. He's a wrecking ball, as many people say. He's up against a tough Mexican and Rey Vargas. That's a fight that many people will be looking at, maybe flying under the radar with all these heavyweights, but it's a fantastic fight.
Oh, it's a brilliant fight. I mean, you know, Nick is a tremendous competitor. He's got a unique style. His manager and trainer, Paul Stevenson, has done a brilliant job with him. And, you know, as soon as he gets in the ring, it's all action. I mean, he's got a tremendous engine inside him. He doesn't stop, he's relentless, and he's also very difficult to hit. He's very economical. You watch with his movement. He doesn't, you know, he can be out of range like this, just for a slight head movement. He's very clever in what he does. But he's in with the best featherweight in the world. It's not going to be easy, but I genuinely do feel he's got a great opportunity to become champion.
And that's one final one, Frank. I mean, the 5v5 that's being announced, hopefully on Saturday, the featherweight division's one of them divisions that's been earmarked for that 5v5. Nick Ball, your man, if that's the case, in a unification fight against one of Eddie's guys?
Well, we haven't nominated him yet, but we're working on it, and this week we'll see. And we've got to see what happens in the fight.
Listen, Frank, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, Frank.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.